Tigers 100-81 over the rival from Tuscaloosa. Alabama 14-7. Auburn advances to 21-1. I mean, it was 51-37 at the half. At the I think, and we didn't really talk much about this, Jacob, but would you say that first half deficit, even though it was a little bit of improvement defensively, a little bit. I mean, Auburn wouldn't go away. Alabama kept trying a little, but I think because of the big deficit at halftime, that played a big factor in ultimately the end result.
100%, it did. It really, and I don't, and the blame the coaches thing, I know, but it is Nate Oates' fault for not changing the defensive scheme when he should have. That's his fault. He should have changed it.
Well, I don't know what it is about him, but I don't know if he is one that is, no, this is how I run things. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. And it's one of those where it works against one team, but just because it works on one weekend against a team like Baylor doesn't mean it's going to work against the next team and your rival on the road at Auburn.
Because teams are built different.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but it's just the truth. Teams are built different.
Even if you look at it and say, well, both of those teams have great offenses, but they're just a little bit different. The tempo that they run at, the way they stack themselves or work themselves on the court, I mean, it's different for every team. And Alabama just had a hard time of adjusting.
Let me use a football example here.
Yeah.
Would you prepare the same for Michigan's offense as you would for Ohio State's offense? Would you do that? Prepare the same way?
Regardless of year, I mean, well, no. I mean, because they I mean, Ohio State is all C.J. Stroud and passing the ball right now, and Michigan likes to run the ball up the middle with Hassan Haskins. And
exactly,
I mean, they're different. And not only are they different, they're different because of the players that they have. Well, yes, but also it's still the way in which, like, the coordinators and the play calling and just overall coaching. I don't think there's really much coordinator going on in basketball, but coaching.
Exactly.
You're going up against Bruce Pearl. You're going up against some of the best shooters in Kessler and company with Auburn. And, when you look at it in the paint tonight, let me tell you how bad this is. Now, I give him credit. There were 10 blocks in the game tonight. Walker Kessler had 8 blocks in this game. But in the paint, Jacob, when you look at these stats, Auburn outscored Alabama 52-22.
Yep.
52-22.
And that Michigan-Ohio State question?
Yeah.
That was my point. You gave me the answer I was exactly hoping for to prove my point. You wouldn't prepare the same for Ohio State's offense as you would Michigan's offense, would you? No.
No, not at all. And by the way,
that's why you got to prepare differently for Baylor and Auburn.
Walker Kessler is a defensive machine, by the way, too. On the season, he's 4th.
Might be the best defensive.
No, he's at the top of Division I right now. It's his 4th game tonight against Alabama, or the game against Alabama tonight is his 4th game on the year with 7 or more blocks.
He might win defensive.
Dude, it is hard to get one block in a game sometimes. I don't know how this guy has 4 different games with 7 or more blocks. I don't like Auburn, but I know greatness when I see it. And you cannot deny Bruce Pearl has that kind of team this year. And guys like Walker Kessler are just that good and that talented. And in a couple years, you'll see that guy maybe taking a stage in the NBA.
And that was my point during the game. I was like, why is Alabama going inside?
Yeah. I don't know, but overall,
it didn't make any sense.
It didn't. 100-81. Auburn stays number 1. Alabama put some effort into it. It was a great effort, but it was not even close to enough that they needed to. Again, 51-37 at the end of the first half. Alabama does a little bit better on offense, a little bit better defensively, but still some questionable plays in there where they just, they took shots they didn't need to. They had a hard time inside the paint, inside the perimeter, outside of the 3-point line. They put 44 up in the second.
If you had problems with Walker Kessler in the paint, then Alabama better get ready for Sharif O'Neal.
With LSU, right?
Yep.
I'm just saying.
And Walker Kessler's a defensive player. Sharif O'Neal's offensive.
Yeah. Well, Walker Kessler is that type of player. He's still pretty good offensively, but he's a tall guy. He can block shots.
He might win defensive player
rebounds. He might be defensive player of the year. I would agree with that. Overall, again, this game, I mean, if anything Alabama can say, you look at the game leaders. Oh, well, we had the guy that scored more points. Well, okay. He was the most that scored of the game in 26 in Shackelford. Shackelford looked amazing tonight.
They give Auburn. Whoa, hold on. They give Auburn a 56% chance to beat Arkansas.
Do they?
That's interesting.
Here's the rebounds real quick. Keon Ellis.
Good God.
8 for Bama, 12 for Kessler of Auburn. Assists. Quinterly had 4. Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to being the next team to play Auburn.
Me neither. I mean, they're just. I mean, I don't want to say they're just getting started.
I'm not looking forward to that slaughter fest.
Is Georgia next for them?
Yep.
Get ready. It'll be a bumpy ride for you, Jacob. But again, to end it on this note here, with at least recapping the game, 100-81. The Auburn Tigers at home win, which is really no surprise to me. I'm sure to you it's not a big surprise, but, watching and covering this game tonight, obviously you give credit to the best team in the nation. They could do things right. They could do things well, but truly go back and watch this game, watch highlights and look at it. Alabama had their opportunities, and clearly there were a lot of flaws and failures tonight that could have potentially made this game closer or better than it ended up being.
You just got to move past this and finish out the season.
Exactly. But still plenty of time left. We can still win the SEC, learn from it, get better.